Hello everyone. Today's article is titled How a Zipper or a Patch Can Save Millions. It reveals how global companies make tiny changes, like switching fabrics or adding buckles, not to impress customers, but to save money on tariffs. This clever strategy called tariff engineering shows how international trade rules can shape even the smallest design choices. Let's find out why a small patch on your hoodie could mean millions in savings. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. We'll watch a short clip related to today's topic. As you watch, think about what ideas or questions it brings to mind.
And so what they look at when they're designing new clothes is they look at the actual clothes itself in comparison to the tariff rate. So they'll have the designer, they'll have the merchandiser, they'll work with customs. And what they try to do is, again, make something that will have the lowest tariff impact to their company. So it's fascinating. And so one of the things they've done is they've added a pocket. It's called a nurse's pocket to some of their shirts. And it's kind of where you keep chapstick. And so by doing that, they're able to lower the rate of their t-shirts by 40%.
Now that we've seen the clip, let's take a step back. Before we dig into the details, it helps to explore a broader idea behind the story. This will guide how we understand what follows. This brings us to today's theme, how design and economics intersect. We usually think of design as a creative process, focused on looks, function, or user experience. But in global trade, design is also about money. A single zipper, button, or fabric label can determine which tariff a product faces. It's a reminder that every detail we see on a product might serve a purpose beyond aesthetics. Design, in this case, becomes a strategy and a silent language between businesses and governments. Should companies change a product's design to avoid tariffs? Is that smart strategy or crossing a line? Changing a product's design to reduce tariffs may seem sneaky, but it's actually legal and surprisingly common. This practice, known as tariff engineering, involves adjusting tiny details like the shape of a neckline, the placement of a zipper, or the type of fabric used. These changes don't necessarily affect how the product functions or feels to the customer, but they can shift how it's classified under trade rules. In our article, clothing brands redesigned hoodies by adding a patch or adjusting the neckline, which moved them into a lower tax category. Similarly, outdoor brands changed backpack buckles to avoid higher tariffs. Is this unethical? Not necessarily. It's a response to complex and sometimes outdated trade laws. While some see it as bending the rules, others view it as innovation, adapting design to survive in a global market. Ultimately, tariff engineering reveals a hidden side of product development, one where creativity meets regulation and where business strategy can be stitched into every seam. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with ploy. A ploy is a clever or strategic move used to gain an advantage, often in business, negotiation, or competition. It means something done on purpose to get around a problem or gain an edge. Here's an example. Changing the hoodie's design was a ploy to avoid higher import taxes. Next, we have scramble. It means to move quickly or act with urgency, especially in a chaotic or competitive situation. It's often used when companies rush to adapt or respond to sudden changes. Here's an example. Clothing brands scrambled to redesign products once the new tariffs were announced. Finally, let's look at dodge. It means to avoid something, often deliberately or cleverly, such as a question, a rule, or a penalty. It implies an intentional effort to escape consequences. Here's an example. The company dodged high tariffs by sewing the label in a different spot. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. Tariff engineering is a legal strategy where companies tweak product designs, like fabric type or added features, to reduce import taxes. A small change can shift an item into a cheaper tax category, saving businesses millions. This tactic has gained attention amid global trade tensions, and South Korean exporters are using it too. But the line between smart planning and misclassification is thin and risky if crossed. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is tweak. It means to make small adjustments to improve or alter something. The second answer is shift. This means to move or change something to a different category or position. The third answer is tactic. It is a planned action or strategy used to achieve a goal. The fourth answer is misclassification. This refers to labeling or categorizing something incorrectly, especially in legal or trade contexts. The fifth answer is risky. This means something involves danger or uncertainty. Well done, everyone. Today we explored how product design can be influenced not just by customer needs, but by trade policy and tax strategy. We saw how companies use small tweaks to shift tax categories, saving millions while raising ethical questions. To close, here's something to reflect on. Should companies be required to disclose if a product was redesigned to avoid tariffs? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in our next review session. Until then, stay curious.